Bonjour everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new video in which we have the pleasure of talking about the YOH line and most specifically about a premium that is designed for this line. Since its release, the YOH line have been one of the most popular and for the right reasons. Those tanks are equipped with auto-loading mechanisms that feature an incredibly quick burst sitting at 900 damage for like 1.7 seconds of reload when it comes to the YOH, the tier 10. When it comes to the tier 9, tier 8 etc, it's a little bit decreased, but that's logic, it has to fit with the tier they're playing on. But still, those tanks were long awaited. They were the first one to be introduced in World of Tanks Blitz and not World of Tanks PC, and for that there is a whole hype around them. And of course, as World of Tanks Blitz likes to surf on hypes, especially when it comes to make money, they are preparing something. They will prepare a premium, and that premium is still a YOH tank, and today we're going to try to discover it. First, let's start with some logic. If Wargaming wants to implement a new YOH tank, it has to be close to the regular ones from the tech tree, which implies that it will probably be a heavy tank, an American one, of course, and on top of that, maybe with an autoloader. But you gotta keep in mind that it's important for Wargaming to keep it different from the regular tech tree ones. So in my opinion, I think that we are gonna see a YOH tank close to this one, but that doesn't feature an autoloader. It will probably a single shot gun, and it will still be a tier 8 because obviously every time Wargaming releases a new premium based on an already existing line or a premium in advance on an upcoming line that will come into the game, then they go for a tier 8. That's the most logic, and this is the easiest to test premiums. And another thing to keep in mind is that when we take a look at the YOHs, we have the number of production or the number of updates there were. For example, the tier 7 is the M7 YOH, the tier 8 is the M3, the tier 9 is the M5, and the tier 10 is the M6. So where is M4? And this is what we are going to focus today, because if there are no M4, that's because Wargaming is preparing a premium, and this premium will come as a tier 8 heavy tank. I present to you the M4 YOH, the tank that is originally from YOH PC that was out in the Christmas lock boxes this year, and to be fair, it looks extremely weird. As you can see, the base of the tank doesn't feature any double track system, which implies that if it's implemented into World of Tanks Blitz, it will probably not feature the mighty thing that makes the YOH tank so special, the reverse track. Is it a problem? In my opinion, no, and it's probably better because it would make the tank a little bit broken in terms of mechanisms, but we don't know. Maybe Blitz will try to do something like that when they implement it. But for the moment, as it's already released, let's take a look at what it can do. So here we are taking a look at this tank in World of Tanks Blitz. As you can see, the main difference between the one they have at tier 8 here and the one we have in the tech tree is the form of the turret, because here it looks like there is a whole spaced armor on the regular turret, which is not a bad thing because at least it protects you from HE. And also the second big thing is that this one doesn't feature any auto-loading mechanism. It's just a simple one single shot. And I'm not against it, to be fair. I'm definitely not against it because I think it's quite interesting to see how a tank such as the YOHs that we are used to get an auto-loading mechanism will react with a traditional gun. Now, for the rest of the tank, what do we have to say? In World of Tanks PC, if I'm not mistaken, it has something like 350 alpha damage. So if we take that into consideration, as in Blitz we have to decrease the statistics, it will probably feature a 310 alpha damage gun. Or if they keep it like a 351, we're gonna get something close to what the Tiger 2 can produce. And it's good, it's really good, because the Tiger 2 gun is among the greatest when it comes to tier 8. For the rest, and especially the accuracy, I'm not sure that you will get the craziest accuracy, because if we talk about history, and especially how it should be depicted accurately, as it has a huge cupola, yes, but not necessarily any holes on the spaced armor surrounding the turret in order for you to see your surroundings, maybe Wargaming will decrease the accuracy. But to be fair, as the accuracy system in World of Tanks PC is clearly worse than the one we have in World of Tanks Blitz, because in Blitz we hit our targets most of the time, it should not be the biggest issue about the tank. Now there is one thing to notice about it. If we get that tank into the game, we gotta keep in mind one thing. It's important to stay in all down, because if I'm not mistaken, that tank is packing some serious armor. We're gonna take a look at it right after when I'm finishing talking about the tank. But all of that armor purpose is kind of destroyed by the fact that you are sitting here with a cupola. So yes, you need to know how to deal with this mighty cupola. Try to either be in all down, try to peekaboo, or when you are in all down but you get people shooting at your cupola, try to circle, to wiggle a little bit to make it harder for them to penetrate the cupola. For the rest of the tank, we have a really good mobility. To be fair, it's sitting in the norm. You should be able to climb up to 40 kilometers per hour, which is definitely enough. And well, that's it. I don't have anything else to say about this tank right now. Finally, we have a tank whose spaced armor is effective, because here, goddamn, it's all about the red system. Just take a look at that 300 millimeters of raw armor on the sides, which is definitely gonna help you quite a lot bouncing some shells. But I mean, when we take a look at it from this angle right there, you see that the plate is quite wide, which implies and explains how armored the tank is. For the rest, we have something similar to what we have on the T125. We have an extremely rounded upper part, which makes it a little bit hard to get penetrated. So you will have to focus your efforts on the lower part of the hull. Of course, there is also that cupola right there that is penetrable quite easily, and also that part of the tank. But to be fair, as you have a tank that is extremely high, to get that part and to be able to penetrate it is going to be quite hard. For the rest of the tank, paper literally everywhere, like you could expect, and 10 degrees of gun depression. If you use your tank wisely, you can increase as well the armor profile. And here you see that in all down, to be able to penetrate that, good luck if you don't aim at the cupola directly. Gotta keep in mind that you still have that little weak spot here, but to be fair, in the heat of the battle, I don't see how people will be able to penetrate that area. For the rest, nothing else to say. We don't have a double track system. Maybe a side scrape would be good with this tank, but I wouldn't advise you to do it, because as you can see, and it's the problem with every single American tanks, when you put them in side scrape, they suck and they get penetrated quite easily. So be careful about that. Now, and another question to answer would be, when will Wargaming introduce such a tank? I know for sure that for the moment they are preoccupied by other things, like getting the T100 Light new line implemented, getting the Object 268 version 4. They still have multiple tanks to release, for example the Super Hellcat. We also have the Steer Waffenträger that you can see right there. There is also a new Tiger, there is new Cromwell Defender, all of those tanks. And to be fair, we will have to wait for a lot of tanks to be implemented before seeing it. But I know for sure that it will come sooner or later, and when it will come, I will buy it, I'll do a review, and hopefully it will be a good tank to add to your collection. But in my opinion, judging by the look of the tank and also the replays I saw from War the Tank PC, I'm not necessarily expecting it to be broken. It should be a good tank, don't mind me, because after all, Wargaming needs to sell them, and in order to sell premium tanks, you need to make them good. But I don't think it's going to be as broken as a Caravan Action 10 or things like that, because here you have an effective cupola that you can penetrate quite easily, and on top of that, as you don't feature any auto-loading or reverse track mechanism, it should make it balanced. So, for the moment, all we can do is hoping for Wargaming to release that thing as soon as possible, but that's it, because we don't have any information yet on it. Are you interested? Are you hyped about that tank? Personally, I'm not hyped, not that much, because that's a cool tank to have in your collection, but I'm not expecting it to be broken or anything like that, so... well, it's just a traditional tank that I think will not necessarily be popular, but maybe time will prove me wrong. So hopefully you enjoyed. If that's the case, feel free to subscribe, like, and share. And personally, I'm gonna see you soon for a new video. Bye.